The following Let's Play has been rated not safe for young children. Any attempts to break the game are for entertainment value only. However, if any typos happen to be found, mwahahaha! Okay, I just checked the recording, and there's the thing with the thing. It's 40 minutes on this next current recording. I had to stop at some point. So, we're finally in a new level. It was really hard to get to this level. Hey, I know what to get to this level. I'm going to definitely enjoy it whenever I reach that one door. Is the door going to take me where I want to go? Probably not, because I went into it a dozen times already, and this is the first time that it brought me to this door. Anyway, you reach this third village. They're like, well, first off, you don't even get to ask about the trends. They're like, oh, hey, as long as you're here, can you help us get rid of this purple fog? And you do that by going back into that previous area and finding a couple secret rooms. Then you get done with that, and they're like, oh, hey, thanks. By the way, our vases were stolen. And then you go after the vases, which, hey, what's this? Choose your destiny. What? Choose your destiny. Okay. Do I have to, like, hit this a whole bunch of times? Until it'll let me through. Are you teasing me? Is this relevant to anything? Okay. Start over here. Let's go ahead and head down some more. See if there's any doors outside. Probably not. Well, actually, yeah, there probably are. Anyway, you get to the Highlands, or you get to the third village, you deal with their subquest, and they're like, okay, you're done here, goodbye. You don't get to get done with ask about the trance. So you eventually go back to the trance, and they're like, well, okay, you've been distracted long enough, we'll let you through now. Yeah, that's it. You don't have to do anything to them. They just let you through because they feel like you've been stalled long enough. So finally, you're out of the Highlands. And you know, the Highlands isn't even the worst part. First off, you're back onto the overworld map where there's no monsters. That's not so bad. But you come across this lake. And you find... Well, first off, there's this subquest going on throughout the game, which is pretty cool, in which you're supposed to put a whole bunch of sheep on fire. Don't ask. What the... Did I perhaps miss a door, or was I actually supposed to somehow go through there? I might have missed the door, unless I am supposed to go through there. But anyway, that's not the worst of it. You get to the lake after burning on the sheep, and as a reward, you open this treasure chest, and you get some really nice equipment and some really nice spells. Here's the thing about the spells you learned. You already knew them. Yeah, apparently, whoever it was that made the game, Stage of Productions or something like that, forgot to set it so you didn't know those super duper spells at the beginning of the game. So you already had those spells the whole time. And as for the special equipment, they set your stats to 999. Essentially, they make you invincible. But that's not the worst of it. After that, it turns out there aren't any more battles in the game anyway. There's supposed to be more to the game, but you eventually find this temple that you were supposed to be trying to find. And you go in and it's like, you know what, okay, here's a convoluted cutscene for you, and then we're going to end the game. No, I'm totally serious. They pretty much end the game like that. Because, oh, you know what, we're out of memory. Here you go, the end. WTF, mates. Seriously. So that's Untamed Madness. Definitely the worst RPG Maker game I've played thus far. I'd rather play Door than that. So, after that, well, actually during Untamed Madness was sucking so badly that I wanted to do other Let's Plays. So I started off with Super Mario Brothers. Okay, well, apparently the only door in this place is this door up here. Is there some sort of secret here? Choose your destiny. It's not like I have a... Oh, wait, I have keys. It's a key item. So, how do I use it? I mean, you can't make it screw up because you got more than one key. You either have the key or you don't. Does the key even do anything? Was I supposed to get here without a key? There's gotta be something to this. I'll figure it out. Anyway, I did Super Mario Brothers. The fun thing about that was, at the time, I did not know about how to split my video so that I could have it record on my computer while still being able to play on my TV. So I had been playing RPG Maker up to that point on my computer for the Let's Plays. It turns out that while it wasn't a big deal for RPGs, with Super Mario Brothers, there was a bit of lag. It wasn't a very noticeable lag. Well, it kind of was at first, because the first attempt, there was such a huge amount of lag that it just sucked. I couldn't even beat World 1. I managed to fix it so it was okay, but apparently it was just a tiny fraction of lag, enough to throw me off, and I still wound up getting game overs, which had comedic results if you've paid enough attention to my current introduction. Well, that doesn't do anything with my keys. And there's no doors. I'm lost. Let me make one more sweep around the area and see if make sure if I didn't miss anything. But anyway, yeah, it was made for my Super Mario Bros. LP, kind of entertaining, but then I lost all my lives again in World 5. It's like, screw it. I'm gonna just stick my camera in front of my TV and finish the game like that. And then I started doing really good. I also did a Let's Test Play on Ice's Donkey Kong game. After that, it was Kirby's Adventure. I actually recorded Kirby's Adventure towards the end of Untamed Madness. That Let's Play kind of sucked because of mostly technical difficulties, also some decisions on my part. Plus, I was still a beginner at Let's Playing. I need another drink. Alright. And that's almost gone. Where am I supposed to use this key? Do I have anything else by chance? Not that it would really matter. Well, of course it's not going to let me equip any keys. Let's see here. Like, how is this supposed to work? I'm totally missing something here. And it sucks. I better not be like to the point where I cannot escape and the game's over simply because I cannot continue. Because you know that would kind of suck. Even more so because I wouldn't know if that was the case or not. Maybe there is a door but it's wandering around. You can do that, you know. Wouldn't surprise me if Vulcus has had that happen. Is this gonna... here's another thought. Is this gonna be a level where... a door is invisible? Because that would suck. Alright, let's go ahead and start searching for invisible doors. This is going to take a while. So, yeah, Kirby's Adventure Let's Play kind of sucked. Overall, I actually want to go back and redo Kirby's Adventure. Make it into a higher quality LP. You know, it was kind of funny. I thought that by doing Super Mario Brothers or Kirby's Adventure, that would get me views by nature of their Super Mario Brothers and Kirby's Adventure. Apparently not. Of course, it didn't help that they both kind of sucked. So, while Kirby's Adventure was uploading, I started recording Final Fantasy IV The After Years, which is the sequel to Final Fantasy IV, or Final Fantasy II, depending on whether you're talking about the Super Nintendo version or any other version. I forgot what I was saying. But anyway, I recorded 2 episodes of that and started uploading it, and then decided, you know what, I'll just upload these first 2 and so that people get an idea of what the game is like, give them a chance to buy the game, and then I'll continue the rest of the Let's Play later. I actually recorded 4 more episodes beyond the initial 2, but they never got edited. Once again, I still have them. I don't know if I'm going to use them, or if I'm going to re-record part or all of the Let's Play. After that, oh yeah, Kirby's Adventure had my second cliffhanger. But just because I thought it would be funny to have a cliffhanger. Right before the final boss, that's where I cliffhung everybody. Turns out, though, that it was actually not a bad idea, because the last 2 episodes, if they had been one video, it would have been kind of long. So, got that out of the way. It should be noted that at the time I had a really crappy capture device. It didn't. When it came to RPG Maker, there would be these times where I was... Well, actually, I'm on my 3rd capture device. My first one for Jester's Hunt and Blast Corps was... Well, I can't remember what it was called, but it wasn't compatible with Windows 7. And that got frustrating. Plus, it was one of those strange deals where if you unplugged it from the USB port, next time you plugged it back in, you had to reinstall it. I don't know how that works. But yeah, before recording the Let's Play for Run Story, it was like, screw this, I'm tired with messing with this thing. I broke the disc in half and threw it away. So for my second Let's Play, or for my second capture device, I used that for a long time, but it had this issue where, depending on how the screen looked, the capture device would make the screen flash. Which usually wasn't a big deal, but kind of got annoying at times. Especially if the screen was filled with the color it really didn't like. I need another drink. I really hope I shouldn't be searching around by using these keys that I found. I mean, please tell me these are like a red herring. No, there's gotta be some sort of way to escape this area without having to have acquired a key. I forgot to mention, it was during my second Let's Play of Untamed Madness where I started having credits to my LPs. Because here's the thing, I wasn't just doing Let's Plays, I was trying to make a show out of it. My inspiration being like Nostalgia Critic and Angry Video Game Nerd. I really wanted to be like them and have this internet show with all this special stuff going on, and people would love it. Of course, we all know how that worked out. It didn't. I'm actually wondering something, but I'll check in a bit. Anyway. So, after Kirby's Adventure and Final Fantasy for the After Years, I started on Fufu the Acid Trip Bunny. Now, as some of you may remember, for Fufu the Acid Trip Bunny, I was being Erica the Rabbit. It wasn't recorded that way. I actually recorded it like normal, with no intention of presenting as a girl for the Let's Play, even though I mentioned at a couple points that about being a rabbit girl on Second Life. And my initial plan was, how many of you have seen the cartoons or actually done this where you had with a rabbit trap and you had like a box held up by a stick which was connected to a string and there was bait under the box? I did that. Believe it or not, it actually works. Pretty well, I might add. This was when I was a kid. I managed to trap the rabbit in the box, and then I got it like a carrot or something to feed it through a small hole in the box, and then after a bit I decided to let it go, and by that point the rabbit realized that I wasn't really a threat, so it just sat next to me and let me touch it a bit, which was pretty cool. And I decided for my Let's Play of Fufu, I would introduce it by doing something similar, attracting a rabbit. Well, I didn't want to bother with setting up a box because that would attract unwanted attention. So I decided maybe if I got some baby carrots, I'd have them, a few of those out of my house. Did I bump the mic again? I'm sorry. Have those out of my house, toss one or two outside my house from time to time. Let the rabbits get used to them, and then start actually training them to notice me but not consider me a threat until eventually they would eat out of the palm of my hand or what have you. Which would probably be dangerous because they'd probably bite my hand because they cannot see directly in front of their noses. But also it was a bad idea because, as it turns out, the rabbits don't eat the orange part of the carrot. They're interested in the leaves. So my plan probably wouldn't have worked anyway. I wound up giving up because as it turned out that they weren't going after the baby carrots I had been leaving outside. So my next idea was to use this big stuffed toy rabbit that I have, use it to introduce the video, and then it's like, oh wait a sec, I have this voice changing program, I'll use that to make myself sound like Erica. I'll use it to modify the file that I already recorded, and then it'll be Let's Play with Erica. Alright, we're back here. Something I want to try. I'm just going to do this for a bit. Maybe it'll come to a point where after I do this, after like 90 times, it'll finally let me through. But anyway, I actually had to re-record a few bits where I referenced Erica in the third person. I had to change them to first person. In the end, I kind of regret doing that. Having it be me as Erica, because the audio quality was not that good. While I was doing Fufu, though, I managed to figure out that Dave Carter, the person who created Fufu the Acid Trip Bunny, was actually at YouTube, managed to talk to him. He found out about he found the Let's Play interesting, and he requested that I do SD Paradise. I also found out, sorry for the whip in the mic again, I also found out that there was a different version of Fufu, which I showed off as part of a special for the first episode of SD Paradise. Thinking on it, I shouldn't have done this either, because most of that episode was me talking about the alternate Fufu rather than Let's Playing SD Paradise. I called the episode the Dave Carter Special, and apparently this was a special effort was not enough to get me some extra attention in my Let's Plays. What a surprise. Anyway. So I got done with SD Paradise. SD Paradise. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Back in Untamed Madness, I did that WTF Mates commercial, in which I was trying to quote-unquote sell an animated graphic. I put so much effort into that. I know you guys saw the bloopers for that, but there were a whole lot more bloopers than what I showed. That video took some effort. Eventually, I uploaded that video standalone to YouTube. And it's like, you know, the concept is so ridiculous, me trying to have this 3-minute commercial where I'm selling an animated graphic. That's bound to get some attention and stuff. Thus far, it has not given me a whole lot of attention. It's not like a viral video or anything. It's basically fared no better than any of my other videos, which is very disappointing because, okay, sure, my older LPs kind of suck. My commentary still isn't that great, but I can't see anything wrong with that commercial I made. Aside from, there's the occasional clicking, because at the time I was using a really crappy headset that creaked every time it shifted ever so slightly. But I also made another super duper special thing for SD Paradise, which took advantage, in which I used Super Smash Bros. Brawl, pit Fox McCloud against Mr. Game & Watch, and came up with some commentary. Wrote down. It was ultimately scripted. I recorded it first. I recorded a whole bunch of matches, and then I chose whichever one would allow me to make the most references towards SD Paradise. And, you know, I made something funny out of it. That won't get that'll remain as only as part of the SD Paradise LP, because out of context it's not as you're just not getting it. So yeah, is it safe to say that I've checked this door 90 times yet? That's how many pages you're limited to with this. With RPG Maker, 90 pages per event. I'm kind of hoping here that if I hold a direction, eventually a page will activate that'll let me get inside. So far, it seems pretty unlikely. What am I doing wrong? What do I do? What do I do? Anyway, after SD Paradise, I decided two things. First, I would do The Spiteful Dead. because that was my favorite RPG Maker game, and it still remains my favorite RPG Maker game. Second, I would also finally come up with a special introduction for my Let's Plays. Along with that, I decided, you know what, as long as I'm going to be doing something special, I'm going to be going ahead and make an Atari episode. Because my reasoning was that it's Atari. People like that retro stuff. They look up videos of that all the time. I was wrong. Again. I put more effort into that episode than any other. I got on camera, I wrote a script, I Let's Play 3 games, I went into short detail of 3 other games, one of which I actually did research for, and for the credits, I showed the kill screen of one of the games, and in order to get to that kill screen, I basically had to play it for 4 hours straight. And of course, there was a whole lot of effort getting it edited. That episode still wasn't worth making. I was really hoping that by putting in all that effort, it would get me some nice attention. And of course it didn't. Sucks. Anyway, after that, I started on The Spiteful Dead, recorded the whole Let's Play ahead of time, which admittedly I probably shouldn't have done. I think the reason I recorded the whole LP ahead of time was because I knew there were going to be some cliffhangers, and I wanted to try to figure out when those cliffhangers would take place, how long the Let's Play was going to be, that sort of thing. And it resulted in me going into some things clueless, because by the time Zithros, the creator of The Spiteful Dead, told me about certain things, it was too late. I already beat the game. So, after that, stuff happened. Anyway. I'm clueless. Also, I should probably reset my recording and get another drink. Then I'm gonna continue searching this whole map. Screw you, Volcasus. Grabbing another drink. And yes, I decided to get another bottle of Yoo-Hoo. It's my 3rd bottle, but I don't feel like it's gonna make me sick yet. 4th one I'll probably avoid. This game sucks. This game sucks. Cause I gotta get the video and audio in sync. The Spiteful Dead, I had hoped that it would be an attention grabber because, first off, it had a really good story. Second, it was about zombies. Great combination, right? No, apparently not. Because it didn't get me any extra attention. So, anyway. Still an awesome game, though. I suppose the main fault of it would be that there were cutscenes that were way too long and other stuff. Also, a lot of quiet cutscenes at that. Of course, at the end of the Spiteful Dead, I decided to do something really special and start having these interviews with the people who make the games that I'm playing. Get some insight, get some developer insight, and for that I decided to get on camera and have the interview with me as myself and the other person as Samson, my skunk. Because I like skunks and I thought that'd be pretty silly. So after the Spiteful Dead came Presto's Broken Dream. That was also a really good game. It was also cute. It was a puzzle game for RPG Maker. Pretty inventive in some ways. Lots of puzzle ideas I certainly hadn't thought of. What else? It was somewhere around that time where my previous camera broke. And so for the Let's Play, for the interview, I had to take the recordings that I still had from the Spiteful Dead interview, and redub them. Overall, I think I did a pretty good job. It was pretty obvious that it was everything was getting dubbed, but overall, I think most of it was relatively in sync with what was being said. Now for the Spiteful Dead, I had this super duper fancy 10-minute review. For Presto's Broken Dream, I didn't feel like going through that, plus it was a short game, the review wasn't that long, so I didn't do anything super duper special for that review. Next I was playing, to go for Whispers in the Woods. Alright, got through that. Now let's go through this side. Really hope I don't have to use my key. Just to make sure, I want to make sure it's actually recording. But sorry if I'm not recording. Like a whole lot. Yeah, it's recording. By the way, I've been going at this for 2 hours. In case you didn't keep track. Also, I forgot to mention, and it's probably pointless at this point, time limit's not an issue for YouTube or Vidler, so I was kind of hoping you'd be able to see this whole marathon in one sitting like I'm having to go through, but in one video, I should say. But obviously that's not going to happen. Because even though there's no time limit, YouTube and Vidler do have a video or a video memory limit. I'd like to choose my destiny, but you won't let me. At YouTube, it's 2 gigs. At Vidler, it's 500 megs, which is kind of small, although not really. I haven't ever actually... Well, actually, I suppose a couple of times I have reached it. But it was mainly because of my capture devices. So yeah, this might be split apart based on that. Anyway, after Presto's Broken Dream, I planned on doing Whispers in the Woods, but I wanted to draw up a new title image for that because that's the sort of thing I was starting to do ever since... Well, wanted to do it for Fufu the Acid Trip Bunny, but while trying to create the image for that, I couldn't come up with anything that looked nice. So I just went with just the title. For SC Paradise, it was a screenshot of me and myself in Second Life. For the Atari episode, I just stuck a piece of tape with the episode name on the Atari. For the Spiteful Dead, I drew myself as a zombie. For Persa's Broken Dream, I forgot what I did. Oh yeah, I did that where I was painting myself, painted myself purple. That image actually turned out kind of crappy. I'm not really happy with it at all. The line art was nice, but once I painted myself purple, it was just ugly. The idea was I'm a raccoon, Presto's a tanuki, which is not the same as a raccoon, but you know, they look kind of similar. So I painted myself purple like Presto's purple. Now for Whispers in the Woods, first off, there were two reasons why Whispers in the Woods was delayed. One was because I wanted to draw up that image, and this was going to be the fanciest image yet because it included a drawing of me looking over the valley that the game takes place in, seeing the buildings and stuff, and me turning to looking towards the camera and fading away like a ghost. But of course it took me forever to get the camera replaced. Did I ever tell you about how I had to get my camera replaced? I'm certain I did. But Whispers in the Woods was so distracting, had so many distracting puzzles in it that I don't know, maybe I never got around to it. I'm not going to repeat myself just yet, though. Maybe I didn't talk about it. I'm going to shake this third bottle of Yoo-Hoo. It's a bit more before I drink it. Don't I sound like I'm enjoying myself? I sounded a whole lot more optimistic whenever I started this Let's Play. The worst part is, I'm only 2 hours in.